Step number 2, always be a kid. Let your imagination free. Think about this. Everything that comes into your reality has to go through your mind first. So would it not make more sense to have a more active imagination? I say always be a kid because remember when you're a kid, anything's possible when you're a kid. I remember for me, being a superhero was a valid career option when I was a kid. Albert Einstein said, imagination is everything. It's the preview to life's coming attractions. And Michelangelo said the greater danger for most of us is not that we aim too high and we miss it. It's that we aim too low and we reach it. Step number 3. What are you looking at? Focused thinking. I have a question for you. What direction did you walk in the room? You say that's a pretty stupid question. Almost everybody would walk in forward. Nobody's going to walk in backwards. How would you see where you're going? You know anyone in life that is living in the past, expecting a better future? Where your thoughts are, what you're focused on today will absolutely create your reality tomorrow. There's all sorts of examples of this in society today, but one of the most recent is the 2008 presidential election. John McCain was running against Barack Obama, and Barack Obama quite obviously won. But at 10 o'clock Central Time on November 4th, when John McCain actually conceded the election, one of John McCain's top advisors told him that there was no one better prepared for this type of outcome than John McCain, because he had lost a lot of elections in the past. I will tell you this, when you prepare to lose, you will almost certainly lose. When you prepare to win, you're going to get that outcome most of the time as well. Norman Cousins said, drugs are not always necessary, but belief in recovery always is. When I was in the hospital, I instructed everyone around me, including my doctors, to never say the word cancer and only give me good news. Because I knew there was no positive association with the word cancer. You don't ever hear the word cancer and think happy thoughts. And I knew that was going to be the case with everyone else around me. So I only wanted to think good things. I only wanted to focus on the positive and how I was going to not be in that situation or where I wanted to be. And where did I want to be? I wanted to focus on something that made me feel good. And something that makes me feel great, and there's very few things that make me feel better, is playing golf. And more specifically, what did I want to do? I wanted to play golf with my dad on Father's Day. Now understand, this was in February, and I was 142 pounds. I'd lost 68 pounds, and I'm 6 feet tall, so that's not exactly what you'd call an ideal weight. I was not able to walk because I'd been in bed for so long that all the muscles in my legs had atrophied. Now, I wanted to play golf with my dad on Father's Day, so at almost every point throughout my recovery, I kept my focus or kept my thoughts on that one thing, on playing golf. And I did play golf with my dad on Father's Day. I played a full 18 holes with my dad, my brother, my buddy Dwayne, and my mom came along in the cart because that day it actually worked out that her birthday fell on Father's Day. I wasn't able to walk unassisted by that point, but I was walking with a cane, and I will tell you this, if you turn a 5-iron upside down, it works great as a makeshift cane. Step number 4. It's your fault. Accepting responsibility. Nelson Mandela said, resentment is like drinking poison and then hoping it will kill your enemies. The idea that you're 100% responsible for your life is extremely important. If you can't dance, do you blame the dance floor? If you think it's someone else's fault for why you're in a bad situation right now, then how do you expect to have control over creating a compelling future if you have no control over your past? People don't think you have any control over whether or not you get cancer, but I think you do. When I was diagnosed with cancer, I was in the best shape I'd ever been in my life. I was going to the gym 6 days a week, but I was doing it the wrong way. I was taking chemicals. I'd take a chemical for building muscles faster. I'd take another one to burn fat faster. Then I'd work out for an hour, hour and a half every day, or 6 days a week at least. And then I'd stop off at McDonald's and get a big sack of nutrition on the way home just to replenish my body. Now, you can't do that for very long before your body just breaks down. But the beautiful thing about accepting responsibility is you get to accept the good with the bad. If something goes great, that's your fault too. Step number 5, talking to yourself. Self-suggestion. If most people talk to their friends the way they talk to themselves, they wouldn't have a lot of friends. In Napoleon Hill's classic book, Think and Grow Rich, he suggests cutting the words can't and impossible out of your dictionary. Now, I don't know how we do that in today's day and age of Wikipedia, but this is very good advice. Mr. Eaton said, "Can't never did anything but fail." You think about that. This whole idea of talking to yourself or self-suggestion is essentially convincing yourself of something. When you talk to yourself, you are implying things. And when you imply things to your subconscious mind, it will believe it, because your subconscious mind has no basis in reality. Whatever you tell your subconscious mind, it will believe. And if you tell it enough times with enough conviction, it will lock it into your subconscious as possible. See, there's extreme benefits to actually lying to yourself, especially if you're trying to get something that you want. There's extreme benefits to doing that, because when you tell yourself something, your subconscious has no idea whether or not you're telling the truth, so it will eventually start to believe it. So if you tell yourself something good, it'll eventually start believing it. But if you tell yourself something bad, it'll start believing that too. So which way do you want to start talking to yourself? This brings us to our next Life's a Party term. Your party pledge. A declaration to yourself regarding a reality you want to create. Now, this is essentially a statement you make to yourself regarding something you want in your life. If you've done any reading in the self-help industry, this is usually called an affirmation. I've just renamed it to the party pledge because I think it's a little bit more fun. So why would you want to create this party pledge? Why would you want to create this statement to yourself? Well, it's been proven that if you say something out loud, it will affect your subconscious mind faster. And if you say it in a certain way, it will even increase that speed. In the seminar, we go through exactly how to create these statements that are empowering and how to get this message or these ideas to your subconscious mind at a more rapid rate.